Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. It is going awesome. Just about to hit 3,000 subscribers. We got over 200 backers on Kickstarter, and it hit the 20,000 mark. Super excited about that. Everything is going awesome with the channel, with the books, and everything. Just got back from a great New York trip, which I did a video here if you guys want to check that out. But today I want to talk about Amico comments. More Intellivision Amico comments. One of my favorite segments to do because I like to interact with you guys and I like to answer questions you guys have and just comment on some of the things you've said on my channel. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. It is super, super helpful. I really, really appreciate it. So let's get to it. I had a hands-on review of the Intellivision Amico that I did a few weeks ago. I got to play it at the National Video Game Museum, and I finally got to, instead of just saying, well, I hope it's going to be good, I think it's going to be a good whatever, I got to play several games and really enjoyed myself. And I've had a lot of comments on that video, which has reached well over 5,000 views, which is nice for a small channel like mine. Small but growing, I must, I like to add. So let's get to it. Comments. Now these are comments that are specifically on the review video of the Amico. And I've got to think, and I really enjoy doing these comment videos, and I'll probably start doing them for other videos as well, and just kind of, that way I can answer some of you guys' question, because once the comments are just put on YouTube, and maybe I answer them there, and some of you might see them, but I think it's fun to answer them in an actual video. More of you will see it, and I can interact with you guys. So let's get to it. And positive and negative comments here, all good. Number one, Thomas Clark. Now, these are just numbered on the paper. They're not in any kind of order. Anyway, Thomas Clark says, that game, Moon Patrol, which I play at the end of the video, looks so balls. Now, I'm not completely up with modern lingo. For all I know, that could be good. But within the context of the comment, it's not. And you are really bad at it. I'm not sure anyone should trust your opinion. Now, Thomas, thank you for the comment. Now, if you watched the video, you saw I didn't do great at Moon Patrol, and I'm actually pretty good at the original arcade classic and the various console versions of the original Moon Patrol, but I didn't play super great on it because I was still getting used to the Amico controller, which I thought worked well, but I was still getting used to that, and I was kind of, I was thinking of the review and the video and the spotlight and everything and just people watching, so I wasn't like I was at home super relaxed and playing great. I wasn't at my best, I'll just put it that way, but I still had a lot of fun playing the game, and I actually thought it looked pretty neat, and I thought it played well, and I had fun playing it, but man, it just wants me to play it again a few more times so I can get more familiar with the controller, and I can get used to it more, and play it better. You know, when you're playing a game that you've never played before, you're gonna do better after a few tries, most likely, and so I would, one thing that experience playing the Amico at the National Video Game Museum made me realize is I definitely am looking forward to playing it again. And Moon Patrol especially, so I can do better. And it was fun. Number two, Joe Maffa. I used to play my Intellivision all the time when I was a kid until my mom gave it away after we got NES. Now, I only mention that because just, you know, growing up playing these games, that was such a phenomenon back then. When you got the new console, suddenly your old consoles were considered irrelevant, outdated, uncool, outmoded, no reason to have them. This was very common, even among people that really love their video games. They might not, you know, most people didn't want their old ones. Now, I was an exception to this rule, you know, just being a collector and a hardcore gamer and a crazy person. Once I got my later systems like the NES and Genesis and Super Nintendo, I definitely held on to my Atari, Intellivision, and ColecoVision because I still love playing those. But so many people I know a guy who, once the TurboGrafx got outmoded, he threw it away with the games. And he told me about this later. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding? Do you know me? You could have given it to me. Very common back in the day. The old systems would go up in the attic, out to the curb. People would throw the stuff away to Goodwill or whatever. Anyway, kind of aside the Amico point, but I wanted to read it because I just grew up around this, and this was a real thing. This happened all the time, just like moms throwing away comic books or whatever when the kids outgrew them. Number three, Magog123 says, again, this is a little side trip, they need an updated Mr. Do. Absolutely, I would love that if they would put a brand new Mr. Do on the Amico. Now, I don't know if he said this just because he knows I'm a big Mr. Do fan, my favorite game of all time, or if he's just a Mr. Do fan and it's a coincidence that he said it on my channel. But I absolutely agree with that. Number 4, John DD says, glad you had a great day. So jealous that you actually played an actual Amico. I remember, gosh, a year or more ago. Yeah, it was well over a year ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, when Metal Jesus and John Riggs and a few other YouTubers got an early look at the Amico, a hands-on look, and played it, and they commented on their channel. I was like, wow, I was so jealous. But now I've gotten to play it as well, and yeah, really cool. I'm glad I got to it as well, and it was fun, and we'll all get our chance in October later this year. Hopefully it won't be delayed again, but I don't think it will be. All right, next up, Kafka, K-A-F-K-E. So it's not Franz Kafka, it's Kafka, whatever that is. The only people I can see buying it are Intellivision fans and some parents or grandparents who don't know better. Now, I don't think that will be the only people that buy it, Intellivision fans and, you know, caretakers, adults, parents, or whatever that don't know better. Now, that will be a segment. There will be some parents looking for a video game system for their grandparents or kids or whatever, and say, hey, I've heard this is kid-friendly, or, you know, this looks cool, or this whatever. I heard about this from some parent forum group or something. Or just they randomly buy it. And indeed, maybe some kids will be disappointed. But I think there are going to be a lot of retro gamers, Atari fans, Intellivision fans, ColecoVision fans that buy it. So beyond just Intellivision fans, but I also think there are going to be some parents and grandparents that buy it, and the kids are going to be happy with it once they play it. And the very young kids, they may not care that much what system they have, as long as they have, I'm talking about really young kids, you know, 3, 4, 5 years old. They may not care what system they have, as long as they're playing something fun and they enjoy it. And just the prospect of this system, and I did at the museum when I played this Amico, there were a couple times, you know, different families playing, and they did have fun playing together. And there was one instance in Shark Shark where the mom won. And I remember Tommy really liked that, because one aspect of the system that he's pushing is that the console can be played by all ages, all skill levels, and that anybody has a chance to win. So it is a good family system, I think, but when it comes out, we will see how that goes. We will see how sales go, and we'll see if it reaches that demographic that Intellivision wants so badly to reach, the parents, the grandparents, and the young kids. Number 6, Eugenio Anguera, really cool guy, very supportive of my channel, and makes a lot of comments. Very cool, Brett. Looks like the system will do everything it promises. Looking forward to receiving mine later this year. Now, in my review, I gave it a very positive praise, a lot of praise. I gave it high marks. I remember saying an A+, because that's, in the time I spent with it, it's set out to do what they are saying it will do. And that's what I based my review on. And that's why it got very high marks for me. Plus, I just had a lot of fun playing it, and I really enjoyed the games that I got to experiment with. So there you go. Number 7, the Ouya. Not a compliment. Now with more Intellivision and 4 times the price. No thanks, I can buy an actual console for $400. Now the Amico with 2 controllers will be $250. But yeah, if you bought 2 more controllers, so you could have 4-player gaming, which is what I would recommend you do. When I get my Amico, I'm definitely buying 2 more controllers on top of it, so our whole family can play it and not have people just using their cell phones, because your cell phone can be a controller, which is great for parties and stuff. But for me personally, I'm definitely going to want to buy 2 more Amico controllers, because I like the way those worked really well. And so, yeah, so you're spending some money, but I really wasn't tempted to get an Ouya. I didn't really care. No, I've heard some people really like the Ouya, like Michael Thomason, the guy who once had the world's largest video game collection, according to Guinness, and who's a friend of mine. He loves his Ouya. Thought it was great, but I never, just for whatever reason, I wasn't tempted by it, but I'm definitely interested in the Amico. Number 8, Original Grasshopper says, Astro Smash, Moon Patrol, and Rigid Force Redux all look awesome. I agree. I played all 3 of those games at the Amico event at the museum, and I thought they played well, and they looked cool. Yeah, they don't look like Call of Duty or some modern cinematic game, but for the purposes, for what I like, for the simple purposes of retro gaming, retro style gaming, they work for me. Next up is Slow Bone, with a little sarcasm. It sounds like everything is perfect. Nothing can be improved upon. Everybody of every age loved it. Your buddy Tommy has put together the world's first perfect gaming system. Haha, pretty funny there. Now, just to respond to that a little bit, I never said it was perfect. I've actually been critical of certain elements, like there's not going to be any 8 or 16-bit style games. At least they haven't announced any, and they haven't, I believe they said at this point, there's not going to be any, so you're not going to see anything that looks like Shovel Knight or look like old NES games or anything like that. So I've been critical of that. And for something that emphasizes heavily multiplayer, not having an online gaming, I think that's a negative. Now, I know why they're not doing this. Number one, I'm assuming part of the reason is because it would raise the price, but I think their main reason is because that would take away, their point of the system is to get families together in living rooms, couch co-op, gaming together as a family and as friends all together, not people separating and being by themselves in their rooms. Now, the system likely won't appeal to the typical 20-something whose main way to game is to play by themselves with their headphones, and they're playing Call of Duty and other online multiplayer games with friends. And I know a lot of people that do this, and the Amico is likely not for them. If they tried some of these simple games, just if they play 3 or 4 hours of Call of Duty and they wanted to play something simpler, just for a few minutes, they might enjoy some of these, but they might not give them a chance. Anyway, the system may or may not be for these type of people, but likely not if mostly all they do is online gaming. So, no, the Amico, from what I've played so far, is great. It's fun, but no, it's not perfect. And it is, it is about the price of a Xbox Series X. So there you go. Not perfect, but I've got mine ordered, and I'm happy about that. Number 10, and of 11, got 11 comments here. Space Mutiny says, I'm really torn on this console. Full disclosure, I canceled my pre-order a while back. That's one thing that Intellivision offered. You could you could cancel your pre-order at any time without any, penalty or anything. But skiing and Moon Patrol do look fun, and the graphics are pretty slick. I'm keeping an open mind, and if the reviews are good, I will consider getting one. Now, it'll be really interesting to see once the console is out in October, and I will review it again based on my hands-on experience of my console. It'll be interesting to see what those reviews are like and how, I'm sure they'll be all over the map. Maybe some people don't like these kind of simplistic games and whatnot. Maybe people will criticize the graphics for not looking like the Switch or like the PS5 or whatever. Regardless, I think it'll have largely positive reviews just based on fun factor. So there we go. Last, and certainly not least, is number 11. Grudge Q says, ugh. Now I wished I'd stayed a bit longer and tried Shark Shark. So I'm not exactly who this person is, but apparently Grudge Q, who I may have spoken with, I don't even know based on their YouTube name, but apparently they were there and they didn't try Shark Shark, but they had been there before that. The games look big and colorful. Astro Smash on a large TV is amazing with those crisp graphics, and all sounded great too. That's one thing about these games. They did sound great regardless of, whether they're modern or retro or anything at all. Just objectively, I thought they sounded really great. No lag, and the controller was comfortable and responsive with a quality feel. I felt the same way. The controller felt comfortable in my hands. I didn't really discern any lag. It just, the controls seemed responsive. And I played probably, I think I remember playing 6 or 7 games, and they all played well. Can't wait for my Amico to arrive this fall. Well, I agree. I'm looking forward to mine as well. Let me know in the comments. Are you looking forward to the Amico? Are you not looking forward to the Amico? I'd love to hear your polite and measured comments. I will gladly leave negative comments. That's fine. Positive comments, negative comments, anything in between. Just remember to be polite and respectful. If you're very rude, of course, I will delete the comment. There's no reason for that. Just having some fun here. I'm an old guy who likes retro games. Shocker. I'm looking forward to the Amico. I grew up with the Intellivision, and I like the simple plug-in and play stuff. So yeah, looking for the Amico. Nothing too controversial there. And if it's not for you, if you like online gaming and cinematic graphics, nothing wrong with that. Great stuff. I love cinematic games myself. I don't do any gaming online, not much anyway. Just, I don't know if I don't have time for it. It's just not my thing. I got plenty of other stuff to play that's local, not online. Regardless, I do like me some modern gaming as well. I have a Switch, I have a 360. One of my favorite systems of all time is the semi-modern PlayStation 2, so it's all good. Gamer from, I like all generations of gaming. So regardless, comment on this video with what you think of the Amico and whether or not you're looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Maybe I'll do another comments video on this video, but I hope to expand my comments video. You guys seem to enjoy these, and I certainly like putting them together. They're a lot of fun. So if I get if I do a video at some point that gets a lot of traction over the next couple of months, and that's very likely, I will comment on that. I will have a comments video on that video. Is that a little too meta? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. We will talk to you in another video. If you're a fan of my work, you might want to consider supporting me on Patreon. For just a low fee each month, you get a lot of extra content. Another way to support the channel and my writing career is to buy books direct from me, including the 100 Greatest Console Video Games, the Classic Home Video Game Series. It's like an encyclopedia set. And this massive bad boy, the NES Omnibus Volume 1 A through L. I will put links in the description of this video where you can buy books direct from me and where you can support me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.